Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to an all-new episode of 2008 Universe Mode. We are your hosts. My name is Jordan.
I'm Robert, and we are live in beautiful Milan, Italy. Tonight, we will see the trial by combat match between Kane and his partner, Umaga, the Royal Rumble winner.
It's crazy to me. William Regal made that match, but that's not all. Former partners facing off in the main event. It's match 4 in the best of 5 series.
The winner of the series earns a spot in the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match at No Way Out. But Raw's just getting started here on the boot as William Regal makes his entrance.
That's right, you said the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber. It's coming up at No Way Out. There's still 3 spots to fill, and we're about to fill one right now.
That's right. This is an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. William Regal has spent the entirety of our 2008 universe scheming his way to the World Heavyweight Championship, even forming a team that we have dubbed Checkmate to try to get the title away from Triple H. But his opponent tonight, newcomer to Raw, hot on the scene, the leader of the C Nation, John Cena.
John Cena made his presence very well known on Monday Night Raw, ever since showing up and defeating Randy Orton in his debut match on Monday nights. And Cena has gone on. He had a crazy match with JBL a couple weeks ago, big win there. So obviously that earned Cena a spot in a qualifying match.
I'm really excited to see this one. These are 2 superstars. This is a first-time matchup in our universe, and we're so deep and so many years into it that it's almost impossible to say that we haven't seen one yet, but we have not had Cena or Regal one-on-one, and to put the chamber on the line here, it would mean so much for both of them. Right? Like, Cena has not even really gotten close to a singles title when he was over on SmackDown and now over on Raw. So he can immediately catapult himself into the main event picture. But you have to wonder, William Regal trying to get his hands on that title with Umaga winning the Royal Rumble? It seems like there is some checkmate fuckery at play.
Well, not Charles Robinson's going to try his best to call it down the middle. So we'll see if there's any chicanery afoot as John Cena takes the fight to the leader of Checkmate.
Like we said, Regal assembling a team, 2 monsters, and if you stay tuned in, they are facing off against one another later tonight as Cena puts fists into the temple of William Regal.
Yeah, you mentioned that Cena never really got a fair shot at a championship, but I disagree, because I remember John Cena coming very, very close to walking away with the WWE Championship inside the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match.
Cover here, 1, 2, oh! Cena did a 5-knuckle shuffle from the top rope to try to put Regal away there. And that's right. You're right. The Armageddon Hell in a Cell was a crazy match, and Cena was one of the last men involved in it, that's for sure.
Well, William Regal, he's no slouch either, because William Regal was your first ever Intercontinental Champion in this universe, and he went on a hell of a run.
An undefeated streak unlike anything that we've seen since, quite frankly, and Regal would lock in the Regal stretch and it was over. It did not matter who it was. He always put them away with him.
And tonight he's going to aim to do the same thing to Cena, working those joints.
Stretching the tendons of John Cena's hands.
And just trying to wear down the former world champion. Cena getting the knees to the face. Oh, and blocks that European uppercut.
Cena's a student of the game. You know he's watching film. He sees that uppercut coming.
And Cena now carries Regal across and drops him face first into the turnbuckle pad.
Regal's got to get his feet underneath him. John Cena's not a guy that you want to have a feat of strength against as he tries to rip Regal's skull off of his spine.
Both of these guys want to compete in that chamber match. The title is obviously on the line.
Oof. Big chops. That'll get this Italian crowd roaring.
I forgot we were in Milan, Italy. The jet lag has me all messed up.
That's right. Look at the crowd. They're so Italian. Look at how Italian their crowd is.
Well, Cena now with a cover. 1, 2.
Oh! That was close.
That was close.
That was too close for comfort for William Regal. And here he comes back to a vertical base and hits a dragon screw. Again, Regal working the back, working the neck, picking a vulnerable spot on his opponent and going to town with it.
Cena gets him
up.
Oh, proto bomb, and he stands at the top.
Look at
this. Gut wrench.
Oh,
sit out power bomb.
The strength of John Cena.
And just
raining fists down on Regal's face.
Regal's in trouble.
Oh my God.
William Regal's World Heavyweight Championship hopes are about to be dashed yet again.
No.
A mini 5-knuckle shuffle there.
Just a little one.
And now Cena gets him up, planting him face first on that mat, and goes right into the cover.
Wow.
Is this enough? Can Cena go to the chamber?
What?
No.
Every time, these have been really, really tight, close calls for Regal. He's not going to be able to survive like that. Cena firing up.
Off the ropes, hitting the pose.
Oh, Regal ducked it. Regal ducked it. Is this the window he needs?
A back rake and a wild desperation clothesline. John Cena's in trouble.
Regal trying to build momentum. Oh, but Cena cuts him off at the pass.
I think Regal was going for that Regal stretch, but Cena was able to reverse.
Another dragon screw gets Cena back down on the mat.
And a European uppercut as Regal trying to lead the lamb to slaughter. Cena able to reverse.
Shaking the cobwebs a little bit. Cena with a Hurricane Rana.
Loves doing that, dude.
He does. He just busts that out all the time now.
Completely disorienting his opponent.
The last thing you think of when you see John Cena's face is that you're going to see his hips flying at you know?
Well, Cena pumping the shoes up. Remember the pump-up shoes?
I do. I loved when Cena did that. I was a huge mark for the pump-up shoes.
Well, Cena tried to break his neck right there.
Jeez.
Oh, and again, just beating the hell out of William Regal.
This capacity crowd in Milan, Italy, going crazy for John Cena.
Oh, but William Regal able to reverse. And here's the window again, opening up. Can Regal take advantage?
He's got to capitalize and pick his spots. Look at this. Regal cutter. That's it. Pin him. Regal's going to the Elimination Chamber. Mark it down. No!
Oh my God! Cena kicking out at the last possible second.
Regal trying to get himself worked up, firing up in the corner. What else does Regal have to do to put John Cena away? Carry him like a baby, okay. No, and then he tosses him to the canvas. Cena! AA out of nowhere!
Cover!
AA out of nowhere, he's got the heel. 1, 2, 3. John Cena going to the Elimination Chamber World Heavyweight Championship match. Super Cena has awoken on Monday Night Raw.
John Cena, the serial killer instinct of the leader of the C Nation, has done it again, and on Raw has found his groove. This is the John Cena we've been waiting for all year.
And here you see the graphic: Triple H, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, and John Cena.
Well, moving on, here comes the former women's champion, Mickie James.
The following contest.
Now, this is the first time that we're seeing Mickie since she lost the title to Layla at Unforgiven.
Yeah, Mickie James, the two-time women's champion here in our universe mode. She has had one hell of a year, but tonight she's here because she's really upset that Michelle McCool and Layla are both claiming to be the women's champions.
They are the co-women's champions, and I understand Mickie has a problem with that. She feels like Michelle McCool hasn't earned it. So you know what we do on Raw. You've watched the episodes. You guys watch. You've seen all of the episodes in our playlist over on YouTube at Royally Rumbled. You follow us on Instagram at Royally Rumbled. So you know that what I'm going to do is put her in a match against Michelle McCool.
Well, obviously. That's very on brand. And I mean, like we said, all things aside, Layla has really had a showing, has really had a breakout year so far. She's really come into her own on Monday Night Raw, and I mean, defeated Ashley last week in a
great match.
Singles match. Crazy match. If you haven't watched that, please go back in the series playlist and watch the last Monday Night Raw episode where Layla and Ashley tore the house down.
They did. They really did. Ashley gave her everything she had, but Layla, with this confidence that she's gained from becoming the co-women's champion and the help from Michelle McCool, the tutelage of Michelle McCool in her prime right now in early 2009.
That's true. It is her prime. I will
Mickie
not argue
James
with you there.
Is furious with this, and she is ready here in Italy to tear it down with Michelle McCool. And McCool comes out firing. Look at this, a bulldog right out of the gate.
This is crazy right now.
Dropping fists, going for the pin. Not Charles Robinson won.
No, Mickie kicking out easily. Now, both of these women are former women's champions. Michelle McCool, of course, your first women's champion on Raw.
Held it very early on.
And Mickie James was the woman who took that title from her. So there's already bad blood there between the two of them.
Mickie going to the top rope, looking for Michelle McCool to get to her feet. Huge cross body. Wow. She covered half of the ring with that.
And Michelle tried to run, but Mickie would not let her.
She dropped McCool with some strikes and then tried to capitalize. But Mickie is playing no games here. Michelle McCool has no time to breathe.
Yeah, Mickey's been in control since that huge crossbody, and what a slap to the face. Look at this.
Oh, Michelle McCool.
She just cut her off. Oh, my. Wait, Mickie, back up on her feet. All right, here we go.
Oh, Mick kick! Mick kick!
Oh, but there's Layla getting involved. Layla distracting
Mickie James, giving McCool the opening for that really clean Russian leg sweep into those mounted punches. That was nice.
And
oh no!
Michelle McCool hooks her.
No!
Drops her. Hooks her. Faith breaker.
1, 2, no!
And the distraction from Layla has paid off.
Wow. Michelle McCool picks up a cheap victory here, using Layla as the distraction. Layla did not need Michelle McCool's help last week against Ashley. Michelle McCool needed Layla's assistance here. And that's at No Way Out. We've got the Women's Championship Triple Threat match. We'll see how that pans out. Stay tuned. We'll discuss it after the program. But first, we've got this piece of shit Miz ruining the goddamn show.
Yeah, the Miz literally ruining the Elimination Chamber qualifying match last week as his music played during Kofi Kingston versus Chris Jericho, costing Kofi Kingston the match. He had Jericho dead to rights.
He did? He did?
He hit that Trouble in Paradise and sure, Jericho kicked out. But as soon as this guy's music played,
yep,
because Kofi embarrassed him 2 weeks ago, this asshole couldn't take it anymore.
So tonight, we've got The Miz. He is teaming up.
He's teaming up?
He's teaming up. This is not a singles match. This is a 6-man tag.
He has friends?
No, that is not what I said. You are mischaracterizing all of that.
Ugh. Well, this guy, he's a new guy. So of course he's probably thinking that he's gonna stick by The Miz.
Sheamus and The Miz are teaming up here as just merely partners in circumstance. And as you see the blinding white skin of Sheamus with those lights, we've got to talk about that. I'll talk to somebody in production. We don't want to see that anymore. It's terrible.
But he's the Great White, Robert, okay? Sheamus, of course, showing up as Drew McIntyre's surprise partner and picked up a huge win last week against Cryme Tyme.
I was very impressed with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre as a team. So that's who we're getting here. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre teaming up with The Miz. Can you guess who their opponents might be?
Is it the Colognes?
No, that would be silly.
Who would book that? But anyway, well, Sheamus and The Miz are joined by Drew McIntyre, and this guy debuted in our Royal Rumble match.
He had a decent showing. It was interesting to get Drew McIntyre's debut in our universe in that Rumble. And he's been going back and forth. Him and Shad have this like one-upsmanship going that started back in the Rumble, if you remember correctly.
Yeah. And obviously, Shad picking up a big win against Drew McIntyre in a singles match a couple weeks ago on Raw.
Yep. In
the Raw After the Rumble episode. You could go back and watch that in the series playlist. But obviously, Drew McIntyre took that loss personally and felt like he needed a friend and thus recruited Sheamus, which we very clearly established that the United Nations Ireland isn't involved, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Look at this motley crew.
Partners by circumstance, but anyway.
We've got Cryme Tyme coming out next. We mentioned Drew has been having issues with Shad. So here comes Cryme Tyme, JTG, and Shad Gaspard in tow. Former World Tag Team Champions in our universe. Pretty early on. They've gone back and forth with it. I think they've held it twice, possibly 3 times.
It was twice.
Okay.
But, yeah, suffered a loss last week to this new team of Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. But, like you said, Shad has really kind of broken out on his own in a singles capacity the last few months.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him back on a team. And together, these guys are teaming with Mr. Money in the Bank and the Intercontinental Champion.
That's right, Kofi Kingston, the man with he's got all of it. It's crazy how successful he's been. And with, like, he's defended even that Money in the Bank briefcase. He's defended it. Like, he put it on the line as if it were a title, and then he won a title.
Yeah, Kofi, a former 2-time World Tag Team Champion in his own right, had that incredible back-and-forth contest with Cryme Tyme at the start of our universe mode.
Yep.
And just think, he could have been in that Elimination Chamber match if it wasn't for The Miz.
And JTG and The Miz going to start things off in our 6-man tag here in Milan, Italy, getting everybody on the card.
Off to a rocky start. But Miz takes advantage.
Oh, look
he's
at this.
Dragging his face across that top rope.
The disrespect. Oh, my God. And the kick to the face. Miz has been formidable in this universe. I hate to admit it.
Yeah.
But he's always just kind of a thorn in the side of everybody, including us.
Miz, when he was on SmackDown, he's the former United States champion, held that title for a very long time, picked up big wins against Christian, big wins against Shelton, big wins against Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Cena, exactly. Like, Miz has had a hell of a year so far, despite our personal feelings against the guy.
Sheamus tags in and immediately drops Shad with a huge power slam, but is only able to get a 1 count.
And these two Goliaths going at it. That was something to see last week in the match. Sheamus, of course, hitting that huge razor's edge that he likes to call the Celtic Cross.
Oh, that's clever because it plays into... Okay.
Yeah. Well, Shad now dropping Sheamus across that top rope.
Big blast from Shad, but Sheamus cuts him off and hits him with a headbutt.
Sheamus taking the time to taunt, and he shoots the half and covers him. Not even a 1 count.
Sheamus, not a very popular guy here in Italy, that's for sure. The Italians not very fond of the Irish, historically speaking.
Well, Shad was able to counter, and now Shad takes the fight to Sheamus.
Drew emphatically trying to get tagged in there, but Shad's not going to let it happen. In fact, Shad's going to tag in JTG. Kofi still not making his presence felt in the match yet, but imagine that hot tag when it comes, you know?
I think Kofi really just wants to get his hands on The Miz.
That's true. Look at JTG with a huge money shot from the top rope.
What a splash, and now cover.
1, 2.
Wow, JTG almost putting Sheamus away, getting revenge for last week.
That would be a huge upset in my opinion. But look at Sheamus here, dropping him with a modified Falcon Arrow.
Yeah, and now tag out to Drew McIntyre. This young kid.
Oh, JTG trying to keep the upper hand in this one.
And here we go, gets a tag to the Intercontinental Champion.
Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston. That's an interesting matchup. Kofi getting fired up.
And now the Chosen One eats some kicks as Kofi Kingston drops him to the mat.
Kofi's been such a delight to have on my roster all year long.
He's really had an incredible year. Oh, wait a minute, there's the Miz.
Miz pushes Kofi off the top. That's why no one likes him.
And of course, again, targeting specifically the Intercontinental Champion. Miz is clearly upset. He thought he was going to have a walk in the park when Kofi Kingston beat him a couple weeks ago. And now Kofi drops the knee across the face of McIntyre.
That non-conventional style of Kofi Kingston versus a much more brawling, brutish, if you will, Sheamus style.
Yeah. Sheamus now gets Kofi up on his shoulders.
Oh no!
Hooks him. White noise. Good Lord, that's got to be it.
One, two. No.
Mr. Money in the Bank kicks out.
Stays alive, but Sheamus with a gut-wrench sit-out powerbomb. That is a move that everyone likes to use in this game.
Well, tags into the Miz, the former United States champion. Oh, look at him.
Now that the damage is done, here comes that Vulture the Miz to pick the bones and look like the strong guy here. Kofi was already down, and here Miz is just capitalizing on it. But Shad says no.
Saves him from that surfboard stretch.
Oh!
Gets a gut kick for his troubles.
Was not expecting that, to be honest with you. Miz and Shad. And then Kofi drops him with a drop kick and tags out instantly to JTG. Just because he's like the fresher man.
Miz takes the fight to JTG. Oh, there's that swinging neck breaker that Miz does. Signature maneuver. JTG's hurt. He's not in a good spot here.
One,
two. Kofi there to make the save. Oh, Miz.
Miz tried to grab a hold of Kofi, but Kofi said no. And now, Kofi Kingston, not the legal man, drops him right on JTG.
Inadvertently right onto JTG.
Ooh. Oh, Miz missed wildly with that clothesline attempt. And Kofi needed to be told to get out of the ring more than once. Look at this weird pin. One.
Such a cocky pin from the Miz. And now gets JTG up to his feet. Punch to the face.
Oh no! Skull-crushing finale! It's over! JTG is out cold. Two, three.
Wow.
I'm speechless. You just put JTG away like that, and that was it.
And what a victory for The Miz. Look at him, he's taking a victory lap like it's WrestleMania. The Miz, either way, the history books will show The Miz, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus all have a victory.
One night only. But next, this is what you paid to see, folks. We've got the trial by combat match. Former tag team partners, monsters, under the tutelage, the training, the expertise of William Regal. Kane going it alone here, forced into this by the leader of Checkmate, William Regal, as penance, payment for his insolence and his inability to get the team where it needs to be next. So now he must pay with his blood against the only person that can draw it from him, probably better than most other people, his most recent partner, Umaga.
Whoa!
Still hot here in Italy. The fire's still hot. The hellfire and brimstone of Kane. I don't know if the Samoan Bulldozer knows what he's getting into with a motivated Kane right now.
Well, the Samoan Bulldozer, Umaga, our Royal Rumble winner
weighing in at 300
here in 2009. Umaga, this man has a main event championship match at WrestleMania with the World Heavyweight Champion, whoever he may be.
Whoever survives that Elimination Chamber is going right to the main event against this man. And I don't know about you. If you want to bring in Evan Bourne, we could talk to him about it. Umaga is a killer.
Now look at him right there. You said he might not be ready for Kane, but Umaga's been ready a lot. And he had that disgusting match at Unforgiven with Evan Bourne. Stole the show, in my opinion.
It just absolutely brutalized that man. And here we go, Kane and Umaga. So this is trial by combat rules, Jordan. Explain to our viewers in the Royal Rumble universe what that means.
Yeah, so William Regal sent Robert a message, basically was able to make this match no exiting the ring, otherwise you will be disqualified. But there are no holds barred, and you can only win by pinfall or submission.
You cannot leave the ring for any circumstance. Even if you're thrown out of it, you're out, you lose. So in a way, it's almost like a sumo match. Like you have to stay within the parameters or you're out, kind of a deal.
It's a metaphysical cage that William Regal
it's like a cage in your mind.
So William Regal basically said Kane's got to go through Umaga, and if he can win, if he can beat the Samoan Bulldozer, then he might get another chance to redeem himself.
Kane from the top with an elbow drop. We got a pin attempt here. 1, 2, and I guess it remains to be seen how badly Kane wants to stay in Checkmate. You know, like, because he could just throw the match and be done with this shit, you know? Like, he doesn't have to put up with this. But
oh my God!
Oh my God!
What a pop-up Samoan drop! And the Samoan Bulldozer has scaled the top rope.
Oh my God! The headbutt.
Oh God!
1,
is this it?
2. No.
Oh. I feel like if Kane were to lose, William Regal would punish him more.
That's true. That's possible.
The deck is stacked against Kane.
Here we go. No, Kane busts out of the Samoan spike attempt and delivers a choke bomb to Umaga. We've got a choke slam.
Plants him. Is it enough?
Pin. 1, 2. No. Umaga barely gets the shoulder up in time, but that just means Kane can inflict more damage.
The crowd chanting "Fight Forever," and Kane dropping Umaga with a sidewalk slam. The Royal Rumble winner's in trouble.
Kane blasts him with a right hand. And we've got that inverted suplex.
Oh, Umaga's in trouble. The big red monster is unleashed here. Oh, but Umaga able to counter. Moved out of the way of that leg drop. And again!
Again!
Oh my God!
And now
Umaga
he's going to deliver
now.
the Samoan spike. Kane is done. That's it. 1, 2, 3. No!
Shut up!
Kane just kicked out of the Samoan spike.
Both of these guys know each other so well from getting to work so closely with one another over the last few months.
Umaga dropping Kane on his face.
And Umaga gets Kane up and drops him face first into that turnbuckle.
Oh man, Kane with one of those classic swinging neck breakers. 1, 2. And the longer this match goes on, the less I like it for Kane, honestly. We've seen Umaga ramp up.
Kane
Wait a second.
Grabs him by the throat.
Choke slam.
A second choke slam.
Umaga 1, 2, 3. Kane put him away just as I was saying it would not be good to let this go on any longer. He must have heard me from ringside. Kane puts Umaga away in the trial by combat. You have to wonder what this means for Checkmate going forward.
Well, obviously, Kane gets another shot at redemption with Regal. So
yeah, I think that's fair, but you know, we'll have to wait to see what Regal says about it. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Wait a second. What is Kane doing?
Hold on. Kane.
He's got a chair.
He's got a chair.
Oh my God. Kane attacking Umaga after the match.
The Big Red Monster's unhinged.
What an ending to the trial by combat match. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest at this time, the man who will be defending his World Heavyweight Championship inside the Elimination Chamber at No Way Out. Randy Orton. Randy, I've got to ask a question the royally rumbled universe has been wanting to know. When will your legacy, Dolph Ziggler and John Morrison, be defending their World Tag Team Championships again?
My legacy has been busy training with me, learning from me. Their titles will be defended in the future once a worthy team decides to show up on Raw. Until then, we're going to do what we've been doing for the last few weeks, and that's getting me ready for the Elimination Chamber match.
Speaking of the Chamber, earlier tonight, we saw John Cena defeat William Regal to qualify, and we could see Mark Henry qualify up next in the main event. With only 2 weeks to go before No Way Out, how do you feel about the level of competition inside the Chamber match?
I'm no stranger to this structure. It's brutalized me in the past, but the difference this time around is I'll be walking in the World Heavyweight Champion. I don't feel threatened by John Cena. I don't feel threatened by Mark Henry or Marcus Cor. My legacy beat them so badly, they aren't even friends anymore, let alone partners. As far as Triple H goes, I've beaten him countless times. Why not once more? That leaves me with Chris Jericho. Chris, you made some comments that didn't sit well with me a few weeks ago. That's why next week, you have to go one-on-one with me. And I'm going to kick some respect into that stupid head of yours.
So now that's it. Next week, we've got Chris Jericho versus the World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton. We will see both of those men inside the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match at No Way Out. And you see the 4 men that have already been entered. We've got 2 spots left, and one of them could be filled next.
It's the 4th match in the best of 5 series. And I cannot wait.
From Silsbee, Texas. Weighing in
this match and this rivalry in particular has climbed to new heights after last week's loss from Mark Henry.
Mark Henry gave it his all last week, but the alpha male, Marcus Cor, fought hard, fought back, never gave up, and was able to overcome the world's strongest man. But can he do it again? If not, Mark Henry will be in that chamber match.
I mean, there is a problem there because Mark Henry did get his hand on the ropes after that pounce last week, and not Charles Robinson just happened to miss it.
It has been an issue that has plagued this universe since the beginning. Sometimes not Charles Robinson is in the wrong place and does not see a hand on the rope. We saw it with Orton and Triple H back a few pay-per-views ago, and we had it last week, and I feel like it's happened a few other times. But the alpha male will not be denied.
Exactly. That's taking nothing away from Marcus Cor. He has had an awesome year, from competing at SummerSlam in the Money in the Bank ladder match and completely getting taken out from that ladder spot with Edge, to competing in the Royal Rumble match with Mark Henry.
That's right.
Almost winning those tag team championships.
Multiple times.
But it just never clicked for Corvan. Tonight, he is one match away from potentially earning a spot inside that chamber.
And that's a title shot. That's a title shot. Like, that's the thing that you can't set aside. Like, these guys are fighting for their singles lives right now.
Exactly. And Mark Henry, the runner-up in our 2009 Royal Rumble match, of course, finally getting eliminated by Umaga. Take nothing away from Mark Henry. Both of these guys want a heavyweight championship in their trophy case.
Look at this. We got a pin. One. Corvan trying to keep the upper hand. Mark Henry's strength does not matter if he's on his back.
That's true. Look at this. Corvan.
Oh my God.
We've seen him hit that before, that F5.
One.
Oh.
Wow. A 1 count after an F5. Mark Henry, you are ridiculous.
You can't. Oh. And a cut has opened up on the forehead.
Oh. Corvan has just been delivering punches to the face. It's no wonder that one of those opened up over the eye.
And Henry drags Corvan closer to the center of the ring and delivers that world's strongest splash.
Pin attempt.
Mark Henry wants to go to No Way Out.
He could have. He was that close. I understand why he's upset. You know, you expect to win.
And Corvan
want everything
back up
to
on
work.
his feet. Gets him in the corner. Oh.
That cut looks pretty serious.
Yeah, there's some blood potentially getting in the eye of Henry there.
Look at that. Pump handle slam.
Wow. The strength and power.
1, 2. No.
We talked about former partners earlier, but these two guys do know each other so well.
I mean, they were such an exciting team. And to see it fall apart like this is terrible. I mean, we're getting great matches out of it, but it's terrible to see two blood brothers battling like this. And Henry again with the world's strongest splash. That's it. He's going to the Elimination Chamber. 1, 2.
No, again, Corvan refusing to quit. The crowd chanting, "We're not worthy."
The greatness of the alpha male, refusing to be denied, refusing to lay down, even for his brother. Oh my God, it's the pounce!
There we go, knocking Henry on his ass.
He's
Shoots the
out.
half. No rope break this time. Marcus Corvan has tied this series up.
The best of 5 will continue next week. Corvan victorious off of a pounce after knocking Henry out on his feet.
And look
at Corvan extends the hand, but Henry says no. There will be no handshakes. Now it's personal because the World Heavyweight Championship is on the line here.
The series is all tied up. Mark Henry Marcus Cor next week. It's the final match in the best of 5 series. The winner gets a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship inside the Raw Elimination Chamber match.
I mean, Henry went up 2-0, and Corvan has fought all the way back. Not just to like relevancy, but now the potential next step of his career. You know what I mean? Like, this is huge. And Henry, I don't like that he didn't shake his hand. But at the same time, you have to understand where he's coming from. This guy was supposed to be my friend, and now he's trying to take away from me what he's earned. You know?
Yeah. All the success that Mark Henry has had this year, in particular the last few months, really feels betrayed by someone who he viewed as one of his brothers. Yeah.
Really sad to see those guys go the way they will. But like you said, next week we've got the finale now, and everything's on the line. It's like the last 4 matches don't even matter, because winner take all next week. And you know what I'm gonna do? So we discussed during the match that the rope break last week, it should have been a rope break, and the match should have continued.
Correct.
So in an effort to right that wrong, and in honor of it being the final, I'm making that a cage match, a traditional cage match.
Okay. No escape, win by pinfall or submission only. I like it. I like that a lot.
They're going to be surrounded by a steel cage with which they can inflict as much or as little damage on their opponent as they want.
Unbelievable way to end this series. And I just want to state for the record, we are not playing these matches. This is entirely AI simulated.
That's right.
So the fact that Marcus Corvan was able to come back at all from the 2-0 series is incredible to me. So it's fun to really watch and see this series unfold the same way you guys are.
Yeah, really interesting stuff. But, speaking of next week, we've got Randy Orton, the World Heavyweight Champion. You heard him in the promo, taking on Chris Jericho one-on-one, because he's sort of not happy with how him and Jericho's interaction went.
And can we talk about the women's triple threat match at No Way Out? Because I'm about as mad as Mickie James is, I feel like.
Look, they are the co-women's champions, so what I intended on doing here is calling their bluff. Now every woman is for herself. Anyone can pin anyone, and that title will be on the line. So what happens if Layla becomes opportunistic and pins Michelle McCool, right? Then she's the sole women's champion. Like, it very well could happen. So we'll see. I understand that Mickie James is not happy about it, but I've got to be fair. They are the co-women's champions.
Fair? That's not fair. That's not fair at all. That's not fair to your former women's champion. That's not fair to Mickie James, who has busted her ass week in and week out in your women's division on Mondays. Fair. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see when we get to No Way Out in a few short episodes. But before we get there,
to enjoy the ride, Jordan. We're taking you on a ride. Doesn't The Rock always says that on the way to WrestleMania? Just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride.
Fine. I'll enjoy the ride. But up until then, and before we get there, the very next episode is Friday Night SmackDown. Ooh. And my main event, chef's kiss, I can't wait. It's CM Punk versus the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy in a SmackDown Elimination Chamber qualifying match.
That is a huge match with gigantic implications. I love the idea of Jeff Hardy being able to get into the title picture for you. And I mean, we saw what Luke Gallows did on the last episode of SmackDown. Absolutely brutalizing Dave Bautista. So, gonna be exciting to see how CM Punk takes on Jeff Hardy in this context. Whatever you have in your head about what happened with them, notwithstanding.
Very true. So make sure you stick around for that. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so that you never miss an episode from your boys at Royally Rumbled.
Speaking of at Royally Rumbled, make sure that you are followed on our Instagram. It is just at Royally Rumbled on Instagram. We post our power rankings, we post reels, we post clips, we post polls before the pay-per-view so you can vote on who you think is going to win. We always love doing that. So Instagram is the place. We don't use the hellscape of Twitter anymore. Facebook's kind of dead for everybody unless you're like old or a bot. Instagram's where it's at for us right now. So make sure that that's where you're following us, because that's where you're going to get it.
Yeah. So for your boys at Royally Rumbled, my name is Jordan.
I'm Robert.
And we'll see you on the next one in 2009.